This is the Scholarlynk news for 23rd November 2020. A study by Singaporean researchers found that the virus which causes COVID-19 can survive on frozen fish, chicken, and pork for 3 weeks even when refrigerated. The study was done by infecting pieces of the meats bought from local supermarkets. The samples were stored at three different temperatures of 4 degrees Celsius, minus 20 degrees Celsius, and minus 80 degrees Celsius. The virus was found to survive and remain infectious when stored at 4 and minus 20 degrees Celsius for a 3 week period. Therefore, the virus can survive storage and transport, and in certain cases, an infected food handler could be the source of a new outbreak. The group is now studying the effects of lower amounts of the virus on food packaging, which is a more natural situation when an infected worker contaminates the packaging. They are also studying the likelihood of infection after eating food that has been contaminated with the COVID-19 virus. Think about it. Is it practical to store all food at a lower temperature where the virus cannot survive? What do you think is the possibility of getting the virus in the manner mentioned in the article? The son of Indonesian President Joko Widodo is expected to win an election held next month when he contests against a little known rival. He is hoping to be elected as the mayor of Surakarta, the position his father once held. Mr. Widodo is unrelated to the powerful families that dominate government, business, and the military in Indonesia, and was regarded as an outsider when he won election in 2014. Despite analysts' views that Indonesian politics is becoming a family affair, Mr. Widodo denies that his son's entry into politics is the making of a new dynasty. Other candidates in regional elections this year include the president's son-in-law, the vice president's daughter, and the defense minister's niece. While there are many who do not like relatives of existing politicians taking part in elections, others accept it as part of life in Indonesia and feel it is more important the politicians understand they are people. Think about it. Do you think relatives of current politicians should be allowed to participate in politics? How about after their relatives have resigned? Thailand's Prime Minister declared that all laws and all articles will be enforced against protesters who break the law. He said that the current situation has shown no signs of easing and that there is a tendency for it to escalate into more violence. However, Section 112 of the Criminal Code, which forbids insulting the monarchy, was not being used at the behest of His Majesty the King. Responding to the Prime Minister, a protest leader announced that they will continue with their peaceful protest. Think about it. At a time when tensions are already high, is it the best course of action to make the announcement that the Prime Minister of Thailand did? 68 Chinese cultural relics that had been taken to the United Kingdom were recently returned to China. Some of them date from the spring and autumn period and come from different provinces. Their story starts in 1995 when the Metropolitan Police Service in London informed the Chinese embassy that they were investigating the sale of stolen property involving relics believed to be from China. This was confirmed by Beijing, which said that the items had been smuggled out of China. British police seized all the items and over 3,000 pieces were returned in 1998. However, a buyer of the relics refused to take part in the negotiations between the two countries and 68 relics remained impounded by the police. The process of getting the artifacts home was immediately started again this year when the deadline for prosecution in the case had passed and the whereabouts of the buyer was unknown. The relics are of great historical value and allow scientists to study manufacturing techniques from that period in China's history. In the United States, As deaths pass the 250,000 mark, the highest in the world, conditions at medical facilities are getting worse. Hospitals have had to convert chapels, cafeterias, waiting rooms, and even a parking garage into patient treatment areas. The number of people in US hospitals suffering from COVID 19 has doubled in the last month to 77,000, and new daily infection numbers have risen to around 160,000. New York City's school system, the largest in the nation, suspended in person classes due to an increasing infection rate. Overwhelmed morgues in El Paso, Texas, have begun paying jail inmates $2 per hour to transport victims' bodies. Extra medical personnel by the thousands have had to be deployed, with additional help coming from the military and volunteer organizations. Some hospitals are so overcrowded that they fear they will soon have to turn patients away. In some states, doctors have warned that they might need to start rationing care as there are not enough staff and beds to go around. Think about it. Do you think the government in your country has done a good job of slowing down or stopping the spread of COVID 19? What are some of the measures that they have mandated, and which are just suggestions? We've come to the end of today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of tomorrow's news. Goodbye.